I'm here with my buddy Philip Williams, and I'd like to encourage you to watch the Phil Williams Show, and you can go to patriotinsights.com.
All right. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
It is that time for my response to a tweet. And today's tweet says, you see liberal Anderson Cooper take a 5-year-old cheap shot at Trump because that's all liberals got. Trump will beat Hillary. You see liberal Anderson Cooper take a 5-year-old cheap shot at Trump because that's all liberals got. Trump will beat Hillary. If anybody knows me, I'm a fair guy. And I'm always going to be fair. You know, we might not like this or not, but, you know, I'm still never Trump, even though this dynamic is here. But we got to get to a point to where we protect ours. And what we're talking about is Donald Trump at the CNN town hall. You know, he's asked a question about the wife pictures and all these kind of things, and Donald Trump hits him with well, you know, they started it and this and that, and Anderson Cooper hits him with, man, you're responding like a 5-year-old. That's how 5-year-olds respond. But here's my response to this tweet. Anderson just did what liberals do. Regardless of our never Trump belief, we must put a stop to what Anderson Cooper did. We must not allow these liberals to continue to throw our children up under the bus. What did 5-year-olds do to you, Anderson, to make you have to compare them to, or Donald Trump to them? We have to stop these liberals from defaming our 5-year-olds. Point blank. That's what liberals do. They always attack our children. No way in the world a 5-year-old would act that way. None. Zero. Now our 10 to 12-year-olds, you might have a point. How Donald Trump responds to things is like a 10 to 12-year-old. Put it like this. When I was 10 to 12, this is what would happen. Whenever I would get caught in trouble, I got my sisters and I got my brothers and stuff like this. Whenever I would get caught in trouble, the first thing I'd do was say, but they did it too. Last week, she did this, and the week before, he did that. And then I would get in extra trouble. Why? Because if I didn't tell it when it happened, I cannot use it to get out of trouble and minimize my situation. Another thing that I would do as 10 to 12 years old is I would try to show where I got hurt too. Didn't show it then. Well, he touched me, so shouldn't he get a whooping too? That's what 10 to 12-year-olds do. 5-year-olds are playing in the dirt and skipping down the street and stuff like this. I don't think Donald Trump is playing in the dirt even though he's dirty. I don't think Donald Trump is skipping up and down the street. He's 70 years old. That's how you blow a hip. But now, here's the deal. 10 to 12-year-olds, I think you might have a point, Mr. Cooper. Let me show you something else that 10, 12-year-olds do. 10, 12-year-olds, they stick up for their friends regardless. Everybody else is just straight out of luck when it comes to their friends. Example, his campaign manager sticks up for his friends. His campaign manager gets accused of something. No, my boy didn't do that. Ain't no way. But did you do it? Man, heck no, that chick lying, man. Please. I ain't even touch her. Then when the evidence come out, backs up her claim. They go against this thing for 2, 3, 4 weeks. And then next thing you know, when the evidence comes out that he touched somebody, then he goes to his 10, 12-year-olds. Well, she touched me first. He was probably defending me because she had an ink pen, and that could have been very dangerous. You know you can get stabbed with an ink pen. I've seen it before. There was a movie, it was called Ink Pen Murderers, and that guy walked around with one eyeball for like 16 years after that ink pen. So instead of acknowledging the fact that your boy is a liar, but more so acknowledge the fact that both of y'all is a bunch of sissy wussy punks. And you guys are afraid of women. And usually guys that's afraid of women, that says something different. But I don't want to even go there. 12-year-olds stick up for their boys. And then try to make excuses for the boys' shenanigans when they get caught. And then hit you with a, but she touched me first, so maybe I should follow a lawsuit. Well, I thought you were this tough guy that would punch people in the face. What happened to all of that? Let me show you another thing that shows Donald Trump functions in the 10, 12-year-old. Okay, now, he talks about, why don't you fire your dude? I don't want to mess up his livelihood. Why would I do that to his family? Why would I do something like that? That's not fair. But let me show you what our brilliant presidential wannabe does. When he's sticking up for his boy, he'll throw the little man under the bus. You remember when Donald Trump was having problems with his microphone? He wanted that dude to be fired, not paid, tarred and feathered. So guess what, people, the American people? When it comes to the American worker, Donald Trump will dog the hell out of you. But when it comes to his boys now, why should he do that to his family? You were willing to do that to that American worker's family, and all you had was a malfunctioning microphone. He deserved to lose his job. But now this dude is actually putting his hands on females in an inappropriate way. You can't minimize it like a 10, 12-year-old. Well, you know, there's people in ISIS cutting people's heads off and she just got touched. And so how are you guys going to even... You can't do that, man. Especially after you lied and said that you didn't touch her at all. We were taught as children that if you don't put your hands on anybody, nobody can accuse you. You lied about putting... So guess what happens when the American people get touched by Donald Trump's military, Donald Trump's Justice Department, Donald Trump's Secret Service? What happens when the American people get touched and file a grievance? Does ass out come to mind, anybody? So what happens? What happens? So Anderson, I think you need to apologize to all 5-year-olds around the world. And I think all 10, 12-year-olds, you got about another 60 years before you get into Donald Trump mode. Please grow up. Please grow up accordingly. We need you to be successful. But we don't need you to be a juvenile delinquent at the age of 70. We need you to go out here and save the world, discover the cure for cancer, discover the cure for AIDS, target poverty, become the president of the United States, the commander-in-chief versus the whiner finger pointing. Oh my God. Yes, Donald, I know you're coming for the big black guy on the radio, pointing out the fact that you are a juvenile retard. And should never... I wonder if you can even spell president. And by the way, where's the money for our troops that you raised, dude? Where is the money? You know the money you raised after you was running from that other white woman that scared you to death? Hey, 5-year-olds, I apologize for Anderson Cooper. Expect an apology letter in the mail. 10, 12-year-olds, grow up properly. 70-year-olds, Go holler at your boy. Give him some better medication. I'm Phil Williams. That's my response to a tweet on the Phil Williams Show.